The rise of Darth Sidious as the one true Dark Lord of the Sith is one of the most triumphant and devastating moments in all of Star Wars lore. The moment that Sidious describes to Anakin Skywalker during the opera scene in Revenge of the Sith is magical, mysterious, and terrifying, as he reveals to him the tale of Darth Plagueis, unbeknownst to Anakin at the time, Sidious's own master, the man sitting beside him. He explains that Darth Plagueis was so powerful that he had achieved immortality, but only for others, able to save others from death by manipulating the midichlorians, but in the end, ironically as Sidious points out, not himself. Later, we would learn that it was Darth Sidious that would kill his own master and Darth Plagueis during the rise of the Sith in his appointment to Supreme Chancellor. The very moment that Darth Maul was cut in half on Naboo would be the moment where Darth Plagueis would lose his life. Darth Sidious was still, however, fearful of the innate power that Plagueis possessed, and therefore got him extremely drunk in celebration of Palpatine about to be announced the Chancellor of the Republic. In an inebriated state, Darth Sidious tortured his master and Plagueis with Force lightning, before eventually ending his life. This was not, however, Darth Sidious's first attempt on his master's life, and today we will explain his original plan to kill Darth Plagueis and ascend the ranks as the One Dark Lord, as well as why it actually failed, and struck Palpatine with intense fear. Originally, Sidious had plans to kill Darth Plagueis a year earlier than when he was killed during the events of the Phantom Menace. A year before the events of the Phantom Menace, Darth Sidious believed that Darth Plagueis was slightly going mad with his study of the midichlorians. It concerned Sidious that Darth Plagueis had become such a recluse from the rest of the galaxy, believing that the secret to eternal life was hidden within the midichlorians. However, Darth Sidious believed that the ascension of the Sith was at hand, and Darth Plagueis was actively choosing the midichlorians and disregarding the ultimate plan established by Darth Bane. It was here that Darth Sidious realized that it was time to take his master out. As if the Sith were to gain immortality without control of the galaxy, what was their immortality in the end? It was because of this that Darth Sidious turned to the criminal underworld, as well as the greater politics in the Star Wars galaxy, to make his first attempt on Plagueis' life. A quick side note about Darth Sidious during this era and time. At this point in time, Darth Sidious is very much unaware exactly how powerful Plagueis is. They don't actually spend that much time together as master and apprentice, as Darth Plagueis is now a full-blown scientist studying the midichlorians, and Darth Sidious a full-blown politician, meaning that Darth Sidious is very much concerned of the secrets that Plagueis has been discovering, as well as Darth Plagueis' innate natural ability in the dark side, meaning that unlike the actual death of Darth Plagueis, this time Darth Sidious is attempting to keep his distance from his Sith master, as he's now concerned if Darth Plagueis is truly his superior. It was here that Darth Sidious began his plan, commissioning Darth Maul, who had no idea that Darth Plagueis even existed, a master to his own master, to infiltrate an old prison and find an arms dealer who Darth Sidious believed could attain a nuclear weapon. Darth Sidious then told Darth Maul that he was to have the weapon delivered to the Bando Goric crime syndicate, because of course, if Darth Plagueis were able to survive this assassination attempt, which of course he was, Darth Sidious needed to ensure that it could not be traced back to him, as this would create a dangerous game of cat and mouse between two powerful political figures in Plagueis and Sidious, and two respective Sith Lords, a battle that Darth Sidious was not interested in undertaking. Darth Maul was eventually successful, attaining the nuclear weapon and delivering it to the crime syndicate personally. The ultimate plan of Darth Sidious was to drop the nuclear weapon on the moon of Sojourn, where he knew Darth Plagueis was studying the midichlorians. However, again, the Sith Lord needed to ensure that it appeared as if he was not involved. It was here where Darth Sidious would reach out to the King of Naboo, planting within the mind of the ill-fated ruler that there was in fact an attempt on his life and to remove him from office from none other than Higo Damask, leader of the banking clan, and secretly the Sith Lord Plagueis. It was because of this that the King of Naboo personally aligned with the crime syndicate to drop the nuclear bomb on Plagueis' residence. Darth Sidious made it appear as if it was the King of Naboo that ordered the attack on Darth Plagueis, therefore giving Darth Sidious his much-needed cover story. There was one individual, though, that would foil all of Darth Sidious's plans, and an individual that Sidious had not accounted for. That being was Jabba the Hutt, who was in a direct rivalry with another member of the Hutt clan, and therefore received word that Darth Plagueis was about to be bombed on his residence. Having aligned with Darth Plagueis years earlier, it was Jabba the Hutt directly that alerted Darth Plagueis to this assassination attempt. With the moon still being destroyed by the nuclear weapon, Darth Plagueis was long gone. This assassination attempt did bring forth something new in Darth Plagueis though, something that the Sith Master had not felt in so long. That being revenge, as he personally made sure that the death of the King of Naboo was a personal matter, something that was rare and even shocked Darth Sidious that Darth Plagueis was willing to go there personally to kill the King of Naboo. In the end, Darth Sidious's first attempt on Darth Plagueis' life was a complete failure, with a moon needlessly decimated. However, Darth Sidious did learn something interesting here, that being that if he needed to take out his master Darth Plagueis in the future, he would need to do so more personally, with a less grand maneuver of deception, one thing that he would ultimately settle on during the events of the Phantom Menace when he executed his master with Force Lightning. However, it's interesting to take into account that the plan was formulated about a year before these events, and it was always Darth Sidious's plan to execute Darth Plagueis. It just took him a lot longer than was originally anticipated. But anyway, my friends, what are your thoughts on this? And what are your thoughts on the first assassination attempt on the life of Darth Plagueis? Do you think that Darth Sidious was much wiser to take a more personal approach with this during the events of the Phantom Menace, getting Darth Plagueis extremely drunk, and then executing him on the eve of his inauguration? What are your thoughts on this first attempt in Plagueis' life? And what do you think would have happened and what would have changed if Plagueis had ultimately been killed on the moon? As always, my friends, thank you guys so much for watching the channel. May the Force be with you, and I will hopefully see you in another video.